You can't, and I do know that experience doesn't always have to be the best teacher. I do know that. But sometimes it's through your experiences that you learn certain lessons. So when we say spiritually, my God, that you have to have some type of an experience walk with God so that you can grow. What I'm suggesting is that you've already had certain areas where God and you have migrated through. So that you old folks say, know God for yourself. And you don't have to rely on what somebody else says. So that when you may reach another difficult point in your life, you can say, I can handle this. Well, let's say it in a more modern vernacular. If we take I can handle this and put it in a modern black vernacular, it means I got this. I got anybody in the house today that can testify? I've had enough experience as I walk with God this year to no matter what I'm going through right now, what I'm going to have to engage in before the end of the year, I got this. Now, in order to say that and really mean it, you gotta do the actions. Because black folk, we like action. We use our hands. So you got to let the devil know, I got anybody in here that can stand up and tell the devil, give it your best shot. I got this. I really got it. I can handle this. I've been broke before. I got this. I've been talked about before. I got this. I can handle it. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. God knows I got it. Sit. I've been at a difficult place before. I've been where I didn't know how it was going to turn out before. I've been walking and didn't know exactly where I was going. I've been there. I got this. In order to grow, sit down. You got to have your own experience with God. You got to be able to know that you can handle certain things. That you really have certain things, that you really got it. It's not going to shake your faith. It's not going to break you. It's not going to pull you down. It's not going to make you lose it. I've been in a difficult place before. I've been where I didn't know how it was going to meet together. I've been where I prayed for them and they got worse. I got this. It means when one grows, there is an increase in your size, that there is an enlargement in your territory. It's like that prayer of Jabez, increase or enlarge my territory. When you say increase or enlarge my territory, what you are suggesting is that I am maturing in God by process. Somebody say process. There is no growth. Listen to me carefully. There is no growth without some amount of pain. Lord have mercy. I don't know anybody who grows up without feeling some pain. I mean, you got to scrape your knee. Some of us broke an arm, dislocated a kneecap, broke our leg. There is no growth without some amount of pain. And what God does is he allows a process. He takes you through a series of continuous changes. I got anybody in here that will be real honest and admit that this has been a year of ongoing changes? I mean, the moment I thought I had one thing tucked in my pocket, and I was able to shout and dance over that, something broke out over here. And when I got it straight over here, something broke out back there. And when I got it straight back there, something broke out. And it's been a year of continuous changes. But when God allows a series, Lord help me, of continuous changes to occur in your life, what he's doing is he's pressing you into power. Lord have mercy. Slap that neighbor 5 on the shoulder and say, neighbor, this has been my year to be pressed into power. Lord have mercy. That sounds good to me, because y'all don't know how pressed I really been this year. But this has been my year. I can personalize it. It's been my year to be pressed into power. Look at the neighbor on the other side and say, neighbor, it's the truth. I've been through a lot of changes this year, but I'm being pressed into power. Clap your hands. I need to hear it now. My. Yeah, Lord. Yeah. Sit. If then growth is constituted by experience, that is constituted by progressional change, then there are 3 things you must do if you're going to grow into it. Lord have mercy. If you're going to find a way to allow experience to have her perfect work, if you're going to find a way to allow the pressing to give you power and make you better and not worse, then there are 3 things you're going to need to do if you're going to grow up. Look at your neighbor and say, grow up. Lord have mercy. Stop whining. Stop crying. Stop acting like it's so bad and grow up. First thing you're going to have to do if you're going to grow into it, whatever your into it is you're going to have to follow what God has laid out. Lord have mercy. You're going to have to follow what has been laid out. You know, like the steps of a good person have been ordered by God. Y'all remember Follow the Leader? Y'all remember that little game, Follow the Leader? We got so many Nintendos and PlayStations now. How many remember Follow the Leader? I like them kind of games. They were easy. Didn't have to have a college degree to figure it out. Didn't know who was jumping and skipping over nothing. You just had to keep your eyes on the leader. Come, Paul Tajado. You know Follow the Leader. It's when one person took over the leadership. Hallelujah. Either by designation or they fought and won the opportunity to be the leader. Because see, I grew up when you just didn't say you was the leader. You had to prove you were worthy. Lord have mercy. You had to prove you was worthy to lead me. Because if you couldn't whoop me and I could whoop you, well, maybe you ain't the leader. Maybe I need to be. Lord have mercy. But you know, in following the leader, the idea was you would not allow your followers to take over the leadership. So you would take them in difficult, closed places. You would make sure that in following you, it was a little difficult. And that's what God does. He charters out a course, but then the enemy gets in there and makes it a little difficult for you to follow God. But if you're going to grow, you're going to have to follow what God has laid out. Slap that neighbor of 5. Thank you, gentlemen. Slap that neighbor of 5 and say, neighbor, follow what God has laid out.